Imagine a place completely cut off from modern conveniences, a village named Haripur, where survival means long days in the fields and carrying water by hand. Every calorie of energy expended here is human or animal. Right in the middle of this grueling daily routine is a 10-year-old boy named Rahul. He doesn't hold a title, but he naturally functions as the village's localized troubleshooting engine. If a heavy load of firewood needs carrying or a stray animal wanders off, Rahul is the first to arrive. While foraging in the forest, he spots a pulsing blue light behind a bush. He reaches out and grabs an ornate, ancient staff. Almost instantly, the forest around him erupts with thousands of glowing, fragrant butterflies. At this initial stage, transformative power is presented as a gift from the outside. It's a serendipitous, magical find that suggests change comes from what you hold, rather than what you do. Rahul begins testing the limits of the tool. He waves it over dry dirt, and a lush garden instantly blooms. He points it at crumbling roofs in the poorest part of town, and the structures immediately reinforce themselves with zero physical labor. The intervention reaches its peak when Rahul approaches an elderly villager who has lost his sight. He uses the staff's light to restore the man's vision, marking the absolute ceiling of the wand's localized capability. This diagram illustrates the dependency syndrome feedback loop. When a problem arises, the community bypasses its own labor, outsourcing the solution to an external artifact. As this tool handles the heavy lifting, baseline effort drops, and vital communal resilience begins to atrophy. This creates a dangerous threshold. How will a population that has grown accustomed to effortless, instant solutions respond when they face a complex, large-scale threat that a single tool cannot solve? A silver bullet solution offers a reprieve from daily struggle, but it often neutralizes the very grit required to survive a genuine crisis. It builds a village that is comfortable, but fragile. That fragility is tested when the environment shifts. A severe drought hits the region, turning the local river into a cracked, dry bed. The stakes escalate. Wells run dry and crops fail. Without a reliable water source, the villagers begin to discuss a total migration, preparing to abandon Haripur and take their chances in the mountains. Rahul attempts to scale the magic, pointing the wand at the sky and praying for rain. But the blue light flickers and fades. The tool has reached a physical limit it cannot cross. In the silence, a voice from an old banyan tree provides the mechanical reality of the situation. The wand is not a source of power. It is a conduit. This side-by-side comparison illustrates conduit theory. A generator produces its own internal energy. A conduit, however, is merely a tube. It can channel existing energy, but it remains empty unless there is a massive external source feeding into it. An existential crisis cannot be solved by a superficial tool. It requires the foundational power of mass human effort to act as the generator. Rahul pivots. He abandons the search for spells and organizes a plan based entirely on physical labor. He gathers the villagers for a massive undertaking. They will carve a canal through the rock of a nearby ridge to divert a distant stream toward Haripur. The wand is stripped of its mystical status. It now functions as a simple flashlight, providing just enough light for the villagers to see where they are swinging their pickaxes. For 3 days, the village works in shifts. Rahul is no longer a lone magician. He is in the trenches with the rest of the community, coordinating the labor and maintaining the momentum of the project. Leadership in this context isn't about solving a problem for a group. It's about organizing the group so they can solve the problem for themselves. The collective effort pays off. The final barrier of rock is breached, and a stream of water rushes down the new canal and into Haripur. The water flows because of the physical channel they carved through the ridge. This recovery belongs to the villagers themselves, the direct result of days spent moving earth and rock as a single unit. As the sun rises over the restored village, the wand turns to transparent glass and dissolves into the air. Rahul watches the last of the dust blow away, but he doesn't reach out to grab it. With the canal finished and the village secure, he simply turns back to his work. Having seen what the community achieved through 3 days of labor, he no longer requires the artifact to feel capable of change. As an adult leader, Rahul applies these lessons to the long-term health of Haripur. He focuses on building schools, constructing new hospitals, and laying permanent infrastructure, solutions that rely on systems and sustained effort rather than a quick fix. His approach is defined by endogenous resilience. This is the strength generated from within a community's own structures, rather than depending on an external savior or a temporary miracle. Real transformation happens when a community stops waiting for a miracle and starts digging together. Long-term survival is generated by that internal resolve, which persists long after the tools of the moment have disappeared.